Good morning. I've been working on my Andamento. It's kind of fun and it's also kind of frustrating. I just thought I'd talk a little bit about what some of my challenges have been. And the biggest challenge, just as it was in this piece, we'll go over here for a minute, is navigating how to come in from here, and here, and then like that, and do that in a really flowy, graceful way. And I was quite challenged. I didn't draw any of it out. This was kind of a bit of a spontaneous piece. That did make it more challenging, but also it's just very hard. As I got into it, I did draw in how I wanted to do this. I just drew on the substrate as I went. I kind of understood the concepts, but there's still something very difficult about working it all out in hard little chunks of glass. At least there is for me. So I'm challenged to try to improve on that, and I want to do a couple things differently. While here the pieces are all relatively the same size, here I'm going to be kind of small in these areas, and then as it branches out, I do want to use a little bit larger pieces, and I may try to incorporate some bigger, pretty good size B cut chunks. Again, I'm going to try. We'll see how that goes. Also, this isn't going to go all the way to the edge. It'll be a jagged edge on the substrate. Now let's talk about a couple of challenges. There is a term for 1 into 2. I just cannot think of it right now, but that's the big key to making this kind of thing work, is to gracefully manage all this coming into a narrow area. So here is an example of these two coming around and meeting. And then I've brought this one in also, and they meet on one piece. And then we go through, and here again we've worked in yet another row coming in to meet on one piece. So we reduce now 1, 2, 3 rows to this one piece, but now we have to flare back out. So we've got the 2 pieces, and from there, here's another place where we're going to flare. This is all, for me, it's quite a challenge to work out and have it look good and smooth and flowy. This area here is still a bit of an issue for me. I don't really like it. It grabs my attention. Also, I worked on this quite a bit. This coming in here, and this coming in here, and going around. This is still grabbing my attention. So I will probably tinker with those a little bit. That is a real challenge. At this narrowest point, we've got 4 lines, 4 rows, and ultimately what we're doing is flaring out into, I'd have to count them, but it's going to be a lot. How to do that seamlessly and gracefully is the real challenge. Here I've done some detail on this flare, although these are still a little bit too big. But this is the idea. A challenge with that, this is a huge flare here. I'll have to be careful when you have multiple flaring of 1 into 2s. You have to be careful about that. If they're all your 1 into 2s are right next to each other, it creates a pattern as well as a sense of tension, I feel, which will call attention to itself. So that's a real challenge with all this flaring, and I've got a lot of that in here. So I'm going to proceed by tinkering with this some more, especially these 2 areas that really grab my attention. Then I'll get all these little sections in, and then I'll probably get back with you. So thanks for listening. Got any questions or comments or ideas? I welcome those, and until next time.